And it happened to be that I got the exact same vehicle in the color exactly like I talked about in my affirmations. So I know that that works because I would listen to those affirmations in my sleep. I would listen to them when I was going to work in the morning, dropping my daughters off at school, everything. I would listen to however I wanted my life to play out. I would speak it, then I would listen to it, and I would definitely listen to it on my way to sleep because it affects your dream state. It affects your subconscious thinking. Hello, 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 and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah. I am an author, I'm a professor, and of course, I'm a master manifester because manifesting the life I choose is all I know because default is not acceptable. My goal here today is to make sure that you all have the tools that I share with you, some of the really cool things that I've learned throughout my intentional manifestation journey. So today I want to discuss how to use your dream state to manifest your desires. So we hear a lot about consciousness and unconsciousness and like our conscious brain and our unconscious brain. Well, it seems that most of the manifestations that we acquire or achieve in our lives are done in the unconscious realm of our brain. So dreaming and sleeping is a perfect time to tap into that resource because it's not burdened with the doubt or the negation that your thinking mind might add to the equation, which we refer to a lot as the resistance that might be added to the equation. And one quick reminder, if you find this content useful and you'd like to share it with your friends and family, don't shy away. Go ahead and do that and make sure you like the video and then also subscribe to my channel. Now, getting back to how to manifest your desires by using your dreams. So there are 5 main things that I do in order to bring my manifestations closer using my dream state. One of the primary things that I do is I meditate before bed. And when I say meditate before bed, it's that I'm using my mind to think about and clear any type of negative thoughts or feelings before I actually lay my head down. I'm using my mind to think about situations and scenarios the way that I want them to turn out, the way that I would like to see the world, the way that I would like my conclusions to be. I sort of get to the end before the end has already happened. So before I go to bed, I'll take 15 to 20 minutes to sit down and do this. First part of those few minutes, the first 10 minutes or so, it's really just clearing my mind, trying my best to slow down my thoughts and just clear my mind, repeating some sort of mantra that I love to use, you know, the one that I really love. Everything is always working out for me. No one is against me. Love is all around me. I might repeat that about 5 or 6 times. Or you can do some type of chanting, whatever it is that you use to clear your mind. I do that for about the first 10 minutes. And then after that, for like another 5 to 10 minutes, I work on placing myself in a position of having the manifestation complete before it's actually complete. So like if it's a car that I really want, it's like, oh, I'm so grateful for my beautiful new car. I love the leather interior. I love the white color on the outside. I love that it has all of the new bells and whistles that are on the inside. I feel so comfortable taking road trips in my vehicle. I feel so blessed that I have the opportunity to have this vehicle in my life, or whatever it is you're trying to manifest your desire. So you want to go to sleep with a good feeling and meditation based on the desire and the end result of that desire. And then for number 2, the second thing that I do to use my dreams or my dream state to manifest is I make sure that I'm very relaxed before bedtime. So that meditation plays a big role in that. But I also do things to relax, sort of like I have chamomile tea that I always drink before bedtime. I have some chewable melatonin with vitamin D in it that's good for the system. I do that before bedtime. And I just make sure that before I go to bed, or before I lay down in my bed, that I'm not just like, letting off steam of the day, that I'm truly in a relaxed state and I truly feel good snuggling under my covers, putting my head on my pillow. And if it takes me playing some yoga music on the television or either some really relaxing sounds to go to bed to, I'll do that too. But being sure that you're very relaxed before you go to bed is going to be another way that you can make sure that you are tapping into your unconscious mind and using your dream state in order to manifest your desires. And number 3 is, if I wake up in the middle of the night, say that I, did everything right, I meditated, I made sure I was in a relaxed state, but for some reason I wake up around 3 or 4 o'clock. Well, we already know that people who tend to wake up around 3 or 4 o'clock, that's usually really creative beings, right? So I'm a person that has very lucid dreams when I go to sleep. Like, I can sleep for 15 minutes and I'll have a very colorful lucid dream. I would swear that it's happening in real life until I actually open my eyes. So I've always been like this. When I was little, my dad used to wake me up in the morning and was like, let's write down your dreams. Well, when I got up in the morning, he'd be like, let's write down your dreams. These are great stories you want to have one day. So sometimes I can remember them vividly, and other times they kind of get away from me if I think too hard about the dream. But something that I have done often, is when I get up in the middle of the night and I can't get back to sleep, I keep a little notepad next to my bed where I turn over and I start jotting down some of the things that were in my dream. What I want to look for is, like, what are some signs that are showing up in my dream? Am I seeing like birds? Am I seeing dolphins? Am I seeing like dragonflies? Am I falling down a black hole? Am I feeling like I'm going to fall out of, off of a cliff or whatever? Am I flying? Am I jumping? I used to have really good dreams of like jumping and flying on beaches. So interesting. So I'll jot these things down because I want to see what those signs are related to, especially since I went to sleep meditating and got relaxed based on the desire or the manifestation that I want to see. So I want to make sure that I am knowing the signs that come along with those manifestations arriving. So depending on what type of signs that are showing up in my dreams, I'll use that to then search and watch other very, very wise YouTubers that I find, or very, very wise people that I find related to signs and symbols using the internet. And I'll look through and find out, okay, so I was seeing a whole lot of ravens. What does that mean? Birds. I was seeing myself flying. What does that mean? So you want to make sure you take notes so that you can actually see how you unconsciously feel about your desire. Like, how is that connection happening? What's the result of what's playing out when you have that dream and you fall asleep thinking about your manifestations? I think it's very important to getting to know where your brain is at and where your unconscious mind is, and then being able to use your dream state to give you clues and hints about your manifestations and desires. Number 4 is really one I really love. I used to do this all the time. I don't do it as much as I used to, but I still love to every now and then. I listen to affirmations in my sleep. So I would have this little MP3 player. Like, people don't really use those anymore, but I had one for a while. And I would use little earbuds, and I would put these in my ears before I lay down and went to sleep. And I would fall asleep listening to affirmations of my own voice. Now, a lot of people like listening to affirmations that are created by other people, but I'm a firm believer that when you have affirmations that are in your own voice, it sends sort of a signal to the universe and a signal to your subconscious that you are believing in what you're saying. So I had this one about attracting a dream car that I had. I don't like to call things dream because it seems like it puts it far in a distance, but I'm just using the common language. And so I have the vehicle now. So a lot of times I would create these recordings that says, I love my beautiful vehicle. I love how it feels riding down the highway, how smooth it feels. I love that it doesn't have any mechanical issues. I love the leather seats in the inside. I love the sunroof. I love how everything is automated and that I get to use the GPS to take me anywhere I want to go. I love how relaxing the ride feels. I love how the air conditioning feels on my skin. And I would do these things and I would recite this over and over again. And it happened to be that I got the exact same vehicle in the color exactly like I talked about in my affirmations. So I know that that works because I would listen to those affirmations in my sleep. I would listen to them when I was going to work in the morning, dropping my daughters off at school, everything. I would listen to however I wanted my life to play out. I would speak it, then I would listen to it, and I would definitely listen to it on my way to sleep because it affects your dream state. It affects your subconscious thinking. And then last but not least, this is another really good one, which also helps me to relax and to help me focus. You do scripting or journaling before bed. So a couple of years ago, I developed a little book called The Gratitude Journal. And it's like a daily, day of the week sort of, you give gratitude, you share what you enjoyed about the day. And then by the end of the week, you kind of do like a synopsis. You're like, what are some major epiphanies that I had? What are some things that I would like to adjust and change? And then what truth can I hold on to going forward? And this book is on Amazon too. So if you go to my website, jameelah.com, if you don't have a journal already, it's a really good journal. It's called the Gratitude Journal. And with this journal, I also use it for scripting. So I would go in my book and I would write gratitude for things that have not appeared yet. But I would make sure that I wrote it in a way that if you were reading it from the outside in, you wouldn't know whether I had these things in my real life or not. I'm so grateful for my trip that I have coming up to Dubai. I'm so grateful for the trip I have coming up to Mexico City, or all these things. And I would describe little aspects of it and pieces of it and what I was going to experience and how much I was going to enjoy it and who was going to be with me. And you would not know the difference between whether it happened and didn't. And when your subconscious mind takes in information like that, it doesn't know the difference. You're deciphering the difference using your conscious mind. And so once I did scripting and journaling at nighttime, this would really help me feed into the feelings that I needed to have in order to have those dreams, or use that dream state in order to get closer to my desires and manifestations. So at any given day of the week, I will use journaling. If one night I'm like, oh, I don't feel like scripting or journaling tonight, that's my passive night. I'll put the affirmations in my ears and go to sleep. And then some nights I'm like, I'm doing it all. So I'm sitting there meditating on my desires. I'm chanting related to it. And then I'm going to do some scripting. And then I'm going to have my chamomile tea. And then I'm going to lay down and listen to my affirmations before I go to bed. So sometimes all of it was necessary. And then sometimes I'd only do one or two. But I'm a firm believer in needing more than one tool in order to use your dream state to get closer to your desires and manifestations. So sleeping is a big chunk of our lives. We don't want to waste that time thinking, well, it's just sleep time. It's actually a time when your body's recharging, when your body's healing, when it's using all those nutrients and all of those vitamins and minerals that it's supposed to in order to make you strong and refreshed for the next day. So when you're in your dream state, you want to make sure that you're using all of that good, helpful and time of growth and time of relaxation to bring those manifestations closer into your space, right? So just keep this in mind. These are the 5 things that I use, the 5 tools that I use to use my dreams in order to manifest my desires. Well, like I said before, if you like this content, make sure that you like the video and that you subscribe to the channel and that you share this message with your family and your really good friends who you want to be able to manifest right along with you. There's nothing like having a really good cohort to manifest with. And also, as always, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. If you have something that you want to share with me, please put it in the comments. I respond to everything. And I can't wait until the next time. Watch some of my other videos for inspiration on manifesting tools and tips in other ways. And enjoy your day.